mean peseme lawyer anything. But no deep big case. I can blame is a case. One afternoon, my dad or them. No share that frame. Quite a lawyer near in him or the scarce in him. That time near top Benz 150,000. Old currency.
150,000.
Old currency.
As a 15 cities.
Well,
1.5.
I mean, okay. That was in 1978. And that time now smiling Benz na baso. Sikana no see her name no. A bit to 2 with change.
Hey,
o catch the papa no say nyese na down for oni no. No lawyer nya. Kobema police no won fi abechinako. No pam. Why he called me to witness that event? No? I'm sure she was sending me a message for the future. Nti me sika ye prade ye say menye bi da. Timbe a press secretary for close to 6 years, impeccable record. Obi no bit make say obi who president my genius baby. I'm not minim side and cry.
And sit that. So be per contract to be a
me my boy Ghana ha. I na be a billionaire so kroma. Me sorry and sa na money hwe. Bebre but enya masem. O de we wunya medjuma. No aye wunya medjuma. So until we need to cultivate this kind of behavior in people. Until as near politics nko as president obedie no any here. Na mum se Ghana besesa na mpuntuo na emra beye adwuma wo Ghana ase. Menti ase da se obi akosam nanim fifiri wa broche. Wa toka. Wo de abedru habo. Na nse madam fo bako. Car duty wotuan kwa 619,000. 16 different levels of EIA charge. Hey. Na nipa no so oni ska na bia wantimi entua. Na government esizi. Ye sizi ya man option say okay bia betua 500,000. Betua 300,000. E bi kra ka man say wetimi entua. Na ya say ya ton ya boarding auction. Near the ama obi say we party ni ntino be fa 50,000. Is that fair? It is something I will never support. I can never support.
But they cost
you're wrong. Are they wrong? So they are wrong too. Cause yeah, na be a party for na nipa ni be. We need to create a new party person. Even in government,
we need to create a new party person
in Ghana across board. Say are they cost na enya ka there and then. Men train free mo ansa. We need to cultivate that. So we a party in our party here enya. Find a way internally to speak about it and change it. And yeah, for the sake of the country, come out openly and let your views be known.
All right.
Why have the galamsey and some message?
You remember galamsey? I mean, kind messages in the Don Bright, the psalmist, to say, Captain, I love Uncle Kwabena. Too much sweet words like Akufo-Addo. Oi. Okay. Steve Opon free. The reason why I don't believe politicians again is how Nanado talked to us when he wanted power. But when he got it, now look. Stephen Opon Monuankasa Fofraba. And then Jacob Wilson says, we love Ghana, but our leaders are making us to vomit out Ghana in us. Ask him, what can he do different? Is it the same old talk like Nanado? Wo you over? Where can we kakanafe yako galamsey?
The American say, whatever happens, then Ghana for betwaba. Inti, I'm looking for say ye koye nimni here. So me ye friend me Kwabena Agyepong. I believe my word is my bond, and I want the Ghanaian people to have belief and trust in what I'm saying. Yes, be American because I have lived it. And yes, be many opportunity to be. So there is no way I'm going to go away from what I believe in. Inti minim say Ghana for have become very cynical about politics. In fact, we share some of the surveys now, Bana. The regard for politics and political parties now afiase.
And no
wrong now. Because when you're there, you have to vote for a politician. SOB a running on mine. It cannot be a lawless state. Until a decision has to be taken. Until Instead of residing in the past, we are Jimundi, we are there, Abano, Yebeto, 2024, Meboa. Enti, Esamudi took Monsem, Namuwe. Yesuni ye buying our character, not only what we are saying, but our deeds. Ntina Memako around the country, a lot of television stations, radios, to defend my record in government. And also to defend my record as a private person. Because some person we a leader of our country. As onya kukudro ene ahobrase se ubekoni ebusao, even your private life should be questioned because character matters. Character
matters.
It's important. And leadership, especially at this time, Ghanaians are looking for a leader, a leader that can inspire confidence with a set of clean hands that can open up to them and say, look, Munjimidi,
and Nana told us the same thing. Munsomin share all those words. At the end of the day, look at where we are.
The question is, are we going to vote in 2024 or not?
Yes, we are.
Are you not going to select someone? So you have to take a decision. And you cannot reside in the past. What is important is you have a set of options. And I'm an option in my party. And I've been around the 16 regions, meeting the stakeholders of the Special Delegates Conference, because I do believe, it's likely to be more than 5 at the close of nominations. Into a Special Delegates Conference. Woman at Tihon, Mutijanum, no city as show. No money, me, Subai, one more a bar, a kuemu, a 2 year who chair, dear who bar for a year, Jumadin, Pija, party in the seal. Party no, and yet 2012 near tea. A tea,
Party until 2012.
Debbie at all. Sometimes we tea binum casa, 2012. Debbie, a tea, and the Vias no, you say. In Ejina Hinemucha Ede. That's right. And since 2008, when the president was elected at Congress in 2007 December, or appointed Dr. Bawumia in 2008, by next year it will be 16 years of that top ticket.
Nanado Bawumia.
16 years. And I think party now, me call around that. The feeling is that they want a drastic departure from the status quo. And I think that with my life experience and dedication to this political tradition, as Mahatma Gandhi said, my message is my life experience. Me pese me share ubia wo Ghana ha abrantie mabawa nkran. Said in spite of all the difficult obstacles that we share with wiase. Se uji wo di na wo ka no kre. Na wo suro Nyankopon na nyam ho hyirawa. De ebeka ngu so ai se yese wo nyina enkusifi.
Sad departure, is it because they think that
they make us say right now we need a new dawn in Ghana, a new direction, a new dimension. Me kind of say one SMRA ejuma. On my way, we can say emrano and shed that enye ejuma. Now nam kwema who will be able to see anyano de gukwem no de ejuma na or block traffic. And I won't say. And a lot of things, little things that affect society. And no, now me as president, you start from yourself. You say charity begins at home. I have always believed in small government. To send a strong signal to the rest of the world, say, I mean business.
Hey, small government.
Small government.
Uncle, we have 123 ministers of state.
Now, no. Now, I think we have about 85 or 86.
Deputy ministers put together.
Yeah. It used to be 120-something. But, I've sat in TV3 hot issues. February 2015 with Kwesi Pratt. And I repeated same. YouTube and say it. Even when I was General Secretary. Even when I was Press Secretary in 2004. I had an interview with, I think, Sky in Takrady. I said the same thing. I've always believed, country, no. The framers of the Constitution, it was not for nothing. No, Mokachire say we shouldn't have more than 19 cabinet ministers. It's not the amount of money you save by reducing the size of government, but the moral message that you send to the people of Ghana. Say when you break, because the impression is being created, say we are just giving jobs to people, but we are there as political leaders to run the country effectively and efficiently. And it is when you have a smaller, mean, lean government that you are likely to be able to generate the kind of confidence that we need to restore hope in the Ghanaian people.
Sanim Jaya warning answer war yenya yenim mo free teteno yenim said it what here.
Yeah.
But in all this, party no yenim penifo no would dig ban no sam mereno would nim one timid touchene we mudia na wo efa kutikwan se wo pamo wo so wo yi wadi so ye wodanyo ifri NPP sankrofo yem ene wo afefo eda tutua dokro bia no wo beye den na obetimi epiepia won na wetimi wura sa bon
enye pia na se opia won. What is important is nipa beto aba we party mu say over 200,000.
Okay.
So, inti nipa 23 bi koshe dem ne bo pose yen say Kwabena Agyepong yen ken semwa enye no kure ngunu so a me nyankopon ti bi se me nya ebo ni bi enti and pusu me ba kokra
sad suspension said
pusu me ba kokra because it never followed any of the lay down procedures of the NPP. Yes, we are party the esen kai na your lawyer for Europa, and we know the rules and regulations. And so you to train.
Now why you be born? If you be person me na me kwasa no why you be born?
Me akoma mu de me obi abon. Nanso Ghana ha no se o ka no kre. Na o ye pepeye and you are down the straight and narrow. So ya na ni pepi mpe.
Ko ka no kre bia na.
Oh, nyese no kre bia. Me I always believed in strengthening the party. Me person me ma a little chronology of things.
Yanko.
So, na se o person was strengthening party na. And no one say constituencies na say strong. Me dey ma fam dey. Se party is stronger. Ejina the strength of the constituencies. The 275. And me be general secretary, even a steering committee and national executive. Mo muti ase say your party yen shekina or constituencies. For the first time, more open accounts in all the 275 constituencies. It's okay. It was after parliamentary primaries kakakra abba party no. Now yes Debbie. First go down first. Until we made sure we sent 10,000 CDs at the time to each of the 275 constituencies.
Wow.
A bit more anti you take it over party no. What they say Sikakra free copy another account or EcoBank. I thought you heard that. And the chairman of Fuka said, no, it cannot be possible. Say chairman or general secretary, you need more Sika. And no a time and the assembly by a chinchina chairman free.
Now you were stopping corruption at that level.
Well, the fact of the matter is, it is against working regulations and now say any corporate governance. Say the head of the party and the chief executive of the party will not be aware of money that has been transferred to another account. Account by is dormant.
Account no
and in fact, in same way because it plays a lot of difficulty even on EcoBank. And we had a meeting with them, but we didn't want to push it too hard. All I'm trying to say is it is when our focus stood his ground and says, Debbie, we are operating Ghana Commercial Bank. This is the bank that we want. It's a national bank. How did our money get to EcoBank? And I say, boy back on at the assembly court. Now, Penifoni befuse a focus. I was questioning, I'm saying, boy, no. Later, so I Juma with Jacob Bilamte. So that was the beginning of all the troubles.
Now, your house will be questioning why
you have to ask them, the powers that be. So, but they hear when say, instigate petitions. Now, I don't know, so modus operandi na. So, we are a canny semi and I can for me. Ufri sema sepo na yakofesi mfumi crab the enkai fumi. You can see that all this thing was orchestrated. Orchestrated. And I stood my ground and said, Debbie, Chairman, onye bibia bone. Enti to say yen tunun sinche no de. And some people have forgotten what happened. Petitions in the Bayakra, it never came to the party headquarters. Never.
Petitions now, I see a digital so the
Paul the bar first.
Okay.
A buy, it went straight to the disciplinary committee chairman, which is irregular. Because petition by party more. We have to, the general secretary has to receive it first at the secretariat. You have to place it in front of the steering committee. The steering committee has a hushim, ni who say, Kwa do a nipano de abano. Officer Kwa yabon no or asem be anwana. A lawyer forecast a prima facie, say, assembly on the face of it. Say, if in the determination of the steering committee, be or the near their comma, disciplinary committee, no afraid. BBS sense. The Revitalizing answer disciplinary committee is almost frame chairman. Chairman said, no, you don't have the authority to invoke your own initial jurisdiction as a disciplinary committee. He would not honor that invitation. Of course, senior pennyful committee which was wrong. But he is the head of the party at the time.
And council more lawyers,
and American, because of all the orchestration, to the extent, say, at that time, he took Amsterdam for international conference. Every few years, the friendly diaspora convention. Call Holland. My Paul, I forgot to come now. Me because my tete se me to emergency committee be on meeting na accept the recommendation of the disciplinary committee saying suspending me. I thought it was a joke. Until the only candidate in court. To me. Then candidates Akufo-Addo, Samikra, Otiku Jaba, the treasurer, Abankwayeboa, Nekoye. Ye conference, ye ke betwaso na semine candidate no twaso ko Washington, near Canada. I quite remember. There has been an emergency National Executive Committee meeting. General Secretary minimum. Chairman Wogana has also convened by the then first vice chairman, with whose authority? That National Executive Committee did not have the chairman, the general secretary, the presidential candidate, his vice, the minority leader then as he was, Chairman Sabonsu, his deputy Dominic Nitiwu, and in fact, the former president, at the time, he was the only person within our tradition, an already president. And he holds a special place. How can you possibly hold a national executive committee with all the top brass absent and proceed to take a decision, the most far-reaching decision to remove the chairman of the party indefinitely? In the meantime, there is no such provision in the party's constitution. So, chairman and our general secretary, sign your Article 11. You have to recall an emergency Congress. And you need 67% to be able to carry. And once they have been elected into office. So it's not a simple exercise. But to use this back route, my friend Paul also, so I confronted candidates.
No. Me
Busad. What did he but he was not so sure. So well, I cannot continue the journey with him.
Oh.
So I took a decision to leave him in London.
So you left Nanado in London?
Of course, I did. Maybe the principal here back where one. He was unhappy, but I said I was also unhappy. Said the way my chairman is being treated, it goes against the grain of the constitution of our party. So me buy an ambassador call man penny for. Nam ko bona money. Said the costly. One found only penny. It's going to create confusion in the party in the future. And I had to even go through a lot to prevail on Paul. Say, look, although the initial decision no enye no, the aye party, and think on through the processes no, not on appeal. I mean, he was unwilling to do it, but eventually, it means Kasayama or the appeal betum. At their original decision, and to today, I don't believe that decision was the right decision. It was improperly convened, improperly constituted to take that far-reaching decision. And so, of course, Ghana, MOBI, including the media and everybody. OBI. So, now, the appeal no buy, no. your caveat be or your constitution say when you file an appeal, there's a 21-day stay of execution. Just say initial decision the better train till the final determination by the appellate body. And also, the National Council na wo ho kwan say the National Executive be on betimi asan transfer. In between that time, na Electoral Commission a major program be Alisa Hotel so bekaya. Because I think this report was first filed by TV3. And I make Paul Kase and I'm saying, well, I still recognize you as a party chairman because you have filed your appeal, you've satisfied all the processes. And we Tieko Pia Lisa Hono. And I mean, and say, once TV3 report, they say, I think they asked me a question. I said, so I still regard him as chairman and that he has filed an appeal, so and so. My first charge was that I had repudiated publicly a decision of the National Executive Committee. That was charge number 1. Me charge sheet. So.
Tell me.
Enti, media, minim sema kumemuno. Semi opportunist, I could have acquiesced. Maybe I would have stayed in my position. But I was not prepared to support something in my heart of hearts. Minim se enye.
Yes, maybe no kwa uko party office ya mancrophobic see buying.
Oh, I know the omo ya earlier cry. I know the earlier. Unse me na minya accident and sa me ko
elections.
Nti na me da 37. Nti anopa no na me de metimi sre doctor for no na metimi ko tamaleko wevi na msan be da 37. 37 ona. Ye be so me ino. I think I'm the only general secretary. I was sworn in on my hospital bed. I've got a picture. I'm sending you, bro. 37 military hospital. I only swear in. Yes, I only swear me in as general secretary. Me da 2 more weeks, and sana me ba take you over as general secretary. Within 2 months, na first attack by me so. Wow. Then I'm general secretary. Yes, I'm my office. It happened, but. Tell me, when you now
feel so shy and no interest, no so you're doing.
Well,
another be an inch.
Oh, they may person me catch and say those who stood to benefit from my absence because Kwabena Agyepong or cannot cry. I didn't know honest me GD say M1 party no M1 or minor, I would not accept it. Although I'm prepared to be flexible in life, because in politics, we are human beings, sometimes you have to be flexible. In the main, no, the media, a dear friend of propriety, say, of course, there were people who were unhappy, said they felt say, they wanted full control of the party. Parties also, me makase. Executive president, say, uti anye yenwe nye nipa, omu wonwe betima hiwenim, I can't crash through, especially when you are walking a path, it feels a M1 or minor. Let's just say, and that is why president after president after president in this Fourth Republic, they have respected a convention. Say party chairman, party general, say so much in cabinet. I didn't know try cabinet. But every president recognizes, say, we are president, we are party now. You are a product of the party. When you're independent candidate. And it is the chairman and the general secretary that can convey the heartbeat of the Ghanaian people. Because when you are general secretary, you are in touch with 275 chairmen all the time. Today, course, we Ghana ha, and Hochre, the course will be a bus, the course was saloons. So when you are Bresa on Sabeka, I quite remember as press secretary to Kufuor, President Kufuor, on the also no grassroots. Oh, how to me catch your camera free and the Breme. For chairman we free time breme lunchtime on ko didi na on net ho and some organ but international security mo the report ban say and I think every president has those tools available to you so person can create there so on the mission now I think say ade e ha Ghana say e siko fancy
ewo
ene enhoahoa mo binya position keto abi ye ben si nyame. Yeah, most of blame ministers. No, ministers quite they almost accessible. Try and go and reach some of the chief executives. Baby, left on Kwanefa. Huh? Oh, there are certain institutions in this Ghana. We chief executive left. Because when you party say, hey, I'm telling you, me person members they know themselves. So, And here in Ghana for now, so we are the enablers. Uber power penny diwachi you say then nipa ba ho to say bees no they attack you because they want to you encourage you say could bibi o yen kodi that suban no ese esesa ese hu say ye ma obi adwuma oba se oba besom oman no abeye oman no ye. That for me is the most important assignment. Your focus has to be on the welfare of the Ghanaian people, especially omo eni bi no. In a short 4 or 8 year cycle, yes, it is true. But your conduct, Ghana, abato, omotu na hisemo.
Ghana abato.
Oh, do na 90% hisem. Usu ne ubai oniye and your interpersonal relations. And your economy who here de. Any projects, they may young for kasa am show in Ghana for uhuye here no moto abatiao. Oh yes, I've been around this country, around the politics for this long time.
We are here.
And near many people are the political appointees, the way they conduct themselves. I've been saying, you know, I know Adriania. Moi, rate am the mom a suicidal rate. Most of Muntianka. Or Marco Microphone and Confucian soon be the pressure. Near bow and even say a cancer, as them be catcher or so. Oh, Makuma. Don't dismiss them with a wave of a hand. When you are a public officer, you shouldn't do that. That's how we are sensitive to the Ghanaian people. And Michelle Yemen be a cause no, man, what is happening? Because in our time, could you pay any one Debbie. So we a government officer, no, I call a lavish wedding.
What's it?
No, I call a lavish wedding. So we a political appointee. Me did me 40th birthday. Quietly, Mkoshe baby. I was press secretary to the president. Ubi Akranti. So them show. And the modesty na and any.
And wow party for the bed they were playing more.
Which is saying one. And weddings upon weddings and lavish weddings, tall cakes. At a time of mine, in Nipa and which that is not leadership by example. And the media may make if enuntina may vote anyway. I say me come no question Ghana for. Meaning said do no party for no who believe in what I believe in. On beto ababa me.
Na anyebia no what can omunti anase ohun ye omahi.
I don't know. Me de bintimi nkyere. Ohu omu bia. No bisa but no credit eye ba kope.
Okay.
Binti ase da. Me I was press secretary to president. Me to easily go on to room baby and this is nice say why bank lay any idea the cars. No. Okay, say July 1st, July 4th, in American Independence Day, let me free American ambassador fees. That's not what I say. Let me cool. And I do not. I'm Robert's bad attack.
Sure.
Until then, National Security Coordinator Francis Puku, but the pressure to be so only Jake. So me track and to me see metra me fear me see me try bind them because of the treatment our family got when my father was tragically killed. The short time I'm pami free aban film. A J cat me papa official car cry aji. To me, I say me de Yankopon the message nyame say. Me see me die and san ma kwa bem Yankopon so boa me see me die. From my own sweat as a civil engineering consultant. Enti e ka say me see me nko. Ya be attack me mo more security. Man koda. So on them enti we need some values in this country, some virtues, and it is the tone that you set as a leader. The values that you espouse as a leader. Me manfa moto enimenimu da.
As a press secretary.
Never. And every person has a motor outrider. Why? And no anajuko bi kofie. Who kofie there? What is the agency? And now it has become a badge of honor. And even you have in Tiasi. Kojumpi and Tiasi, the former chief of staff. Or no about office cry want it. Who tribune on my driving idea. Kuna no abesha. You know, everything has changed, and so people think that Amanfo are displaying wealth and enjoying the opulence of power and the perks of power. I completely disagree. Me, the way I'm papa me, you have to be modest.
How did we get here? Because then another we know a lawyer, we are a campaign manager.
Yes, in 1998.
And then partner Cynthia Yedu, baby Yedu.
I'm not the person to ask this kind of question because I'm not within the corridors of power. If I was there, I can bet my bottom dollar. Say me dear me, asemo ohonenya. Mecca. And I said it in that interview. So I don't see how we should have a country of those days of 25, 30 million should have a ministerial lineup of 85 or 100. It's a waste of our resources. And there's too much waste in this country. And if I was fortunate to have been there as General Secretary, Cabinet, I would have made my voice heard there and then. There and then. And I'm sure I would have had the persuasive powers to impress on him and others. Say, a queen baby I have, but I was not there. And I've not been there. And they are meeting me and answer those questions. But this is what I want to do for the country, if given the opportunity. And I want the Ghanaian people to have the faith, say, Sa ubia ba sa na say the black brush eta ubia no. Eno de me no omo because a decision has to be taken one way or the other. And on the balance of what you've seen from our lives, our experience, ya bra boy yesu ni e ban ni ma ya ye. Eno na ese omo hwe so no omo di chusu nipa na de to aba.
I mean, we saw this very tricky question. Do you talk to Gabi Ochredako?
No, I haven't spoken to him for a long time. For a long time.
You don't want to do that?
What? I don't know who says that.
That's what I said. I just want to ask you a very tricky question.
When you're a member of the government, anyway, but I know he's pretty influential, but I mean, I knew Gabi a long time, you know. I don't want to talk about personal issues, but I mean, I haven't spoken to him for a long.
That's why I said it's a tricky one. So you let's.
It's not a tricky one. I mean, it's a very normal. These are you know. And been in Casa for a long time, yes.
Galamsey. Professor Frimpong Boateng. I remember time na Fulani for Hajing when we were the press secretary, Operation Cowleg. You drove all the way and Najo press secretary Wunkwa to Kumasi. Yenam Fijasin in Tokrumni Ade trying to stop Sanya me ejaye Galamsey by your Mampenida Daku for time. Your presence in the western region, in the Ashanti region and everything. And the ama moye ye gu hunyi na ye ya yenim ye kai. A ye day in the name no aban we mre so Galamsey agency we oyene.
Men kan say aban me mre so kwa. It's been there from John Mahama's time now. It started to say essay. We'll share a report now, Professor Frimpong Boateng now. My worry and disappointment, kakra. Apart from say personally, mine in there, I think it has not been good for Ghana or Africa.
Ew.
At all.
Mining has not been good for Ghana. It has not been good Ghana.
For us. Look, go to all the areas that we mine. That's where you see abject poverty. So meanwhile, there's a mining cabal in the world. It's between Canada, US, Australia, South Africa. That's where and so they are enjoying the fruits of our naturally endowed resources. One, even the contracts that we write out to start out, it's so loaded against us. That's how they able to gold and they say, 45% and now 50%, they say 17%. You manage for more. You manage for because I don't see the contribution to our GDP. It's benefiting the cabal outside. So, number two, I'm an environmental engineer. That's what I did for my postgraduate at the University of Surrey in the UK. I'm green friendly. Who's ubi budu yakra na me yem hyehyeme. Because I brought the car ko boduyem. Nebu. Omba be replace ni a charge replacement of the tree. Ghana how be hunu nkrofo twetwa just like that. But trees are for life. So, now comes down to me triple S now. Anchor me campaign. Say service, sacrifice and selflessness. So you'll be aware selfless. Unko kase unko usika obedient no makoje ayimi dwiri hagu na maye ayi wonsuo mu na asa enkrofo nsuo na wo de wonya sika na ya kan nya nsuo no na destroy environment. It is that penchant for materialism and the drive for money for oneself to the detriment of the society at large. Sa subai na agripe no e ya de a ehadwi. Enti Me dear, I'm surprised. Say, dear, how many say, Sani were going on when Prof was in government. I would have expected that at the time he was in government, he should have spoken up, at least in cabinet, seriously against it. We're a cabinet minister. And don't just say, about Trinko. You have to be able to disagree with the president, respectfully. That is how we are supposed to govern. In our constitution, I see the president on the advice of his cabinet. The cabinet is an advisory tool for the president. So, there's an interministerial committee made up of other ministers. I haven't looked at the list. Who are they? What are they saying? Report was that the chairman's own report? Was it the report of the committee? And what are the other ministers saying about those reports? So there are a lot of questions that remain unanswered. So, because he said the real substance of the matter, and now trying to blame him, say Unia Bemuntina or Diaba. It would have carried a lot more weight, but it still does not change what he has said. So, if I was the president, I would take a very serious look at the report. Because again, report no crowd, I don't understand. Was it the president that asked him, say, onfa report to Mra? Was it the chief of staff on her own volition? And the cast onfa report to Mra? And I report to Mra and President Amanier. I'm told about a 2-year window. The report was at the desk of the chief of staff. Is that correct? I don't know. So I cannot pass comments on those things. And was it a handing over report after all free the ministry, which is a statutory requirement? It's all free ministry. So I don't know which of the reports we are talking about here. But suffice it to say the woman a hard journey, because he's mentioned a lot of political actors. So, I think one heads must roll, because of course, I mean, look, Emraya Juma, let's see him say high forest reserve. Emrana say a forest reserve. It has been reserved. Yankohon. Enti nipa kra to the be a kwa na akochichi nkrofo a omo operative pretty your friend saying those are near those are. That is not where the problem is coming from. Officer being the team ministry and our minerals commission or science no. Officer being or forestry commissioner or so they are all there. These are the people who should be punished. And we need to punish people. We punish at the top. When would they make sure? Say emrano ye juma wa Ghana ha. First and foremost, wouldn't say a forest reserve. Unless the government by an executive instrument has varied its own. That's the only time. One, there are officers responsible. There are DCs responsible for the area. Nobody can say the air cost on the no movie. You can't do that. And that's why President Agyepong will impose strong punitive sanctions. The sanctions regime say, you'll be punished instantly and you won't get away with it. And we need decisive leadership that is prepared to take the difficult decisions. Inti omrana wa Ghana ha, yemfanya ejuma inti Auditor General's report, itimi ba, na she, sika, ashe, sika aye misapplied, ayra, nensusu, nobody is called to question. And so therefore the next person doesn't have any incentive not to repeat. So look at the banking, whatever you guys call it, banking cleanup, or I don't think it was a cleanup in any way, for a problem that, according to the bankers, was worth about 9 billion. You say we're cleaning it with 25 billion yes. of our money.
Yes.
And nobody is expected to ask questions of the finance ministry. We should. The president should. And we citizens should. I'm a Ghanaian first and foremost. I don't have to be anything. My deep press secretary to president for close to 6 years. If you ask baby, I Buckingham Palace, I'm with you any idea. I'm the general secretary of the party, albeit unfortunately curtailed. But I'm family home because me is very clean. So, it is important that we let Ghanaians know. Build the characters, a new politician, a new Ghanaian, a new Don, and America. Say, Adia Kosu party mukra, Ese utimi ka senye.
Baba banking a clean up. You're vice president. He keep defending no. 25
but
billion.
That is why the people of the party should look at everybody's record.
Hey.
Everybody's record. And that is why I think there's time for fresh blood, new energy, new ideas, and a new direction. A candidate, you see, the message is as good as the messenger in politics.
The message is as good as the messenger
of that message in politics. And if you turn am my party for no. Too many omsem na wo. Me de me nam na me kasa kire on tu onfo. Say nye delegate na yeso we delegate na. O hwe no twi mu a delegation of responsibility and duty. And Crawford na asma, you represent people. And it is a sebi because of the monetization. Se obi bro sika se je. Uji a woni Crawford na ekoje. Se unkwa na afako. Yeah, boom by 4 years. Let's say boom by 365 days. Then was scan was it worth that much? And can you sell your birthright, your conscience? So if you say in good conscience, when you feel say all the qualities of a leader, obetimi aboan, ya hwe ni sunu ni ban tu ni ho ache from a any time asum party okwa bem so wanguni ho fia. Me gidi say eno that kind of leadership is what we need now. And that's what I'm trying to encourage the party people. So 2 minutes there, omsem na wo, me wani die ma wo. Me gidie so wo se ombehwe, omato aba no akokwampa so and give us an opportunity to be able to win that elusive third consecutive victory. Obi anya ebida.
Now, per ministry, say form that interministerial we know a Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation 1, Land and Natural Resources 2, Local Government and Rural Development 3, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs 4, Regional Reorganization and Development 5, Water and Sanitation 6, Interior 7, Defense 8, Information 9.
So it's almost half the cabinet. Because the cabinet is 19.
That's right.
It's almost half the cabinet. So one more account report now. The chairman of the committee, the ban. Is it a report representative of the whole committee? That's one question.
Our board ministers never found how we deal.
No, sir, no dear. Me pese me busa womo. The ministry say wabo. Kesa by now, almost more views because say a committee.
Sure.
And a committee report and now say on one personal report and then I heard the secretary of the committee, Charles Bishop, was saying something different. So, secretary there, you are supposed to give the backstopping for the chair of the whole committee. And if you have something substantially different from the chairman there, say no, you have to prepare an alternative report. Ghana for and now Mampeni. The Supreme Court, your majority decision. As a minority, come with the kakra.
Exactly.
So, although the majority decision will prevail, media me feel say we have to call a spade in this country. Media minya kama said the Angola for you, and we have to put a moratorium on surface mining.
Hey.
Yes. So mining, go do deep mining, properly regulated. Because with all these concessions, no, your reclamation clauses near deal. And so me who so be a mining activity be a war reclaiming as I rebuild the environment, the greenery near the. Meantime, who's on yes, sir. And so I know that there is no concession given out that hasn't got that provision and that attachment and count. It's just any problem, Organa. We've got to make compliance, rules, regulations, quality assurance, quality control. Yeah, engineer for the any. Some of them show. So I'm performance based. I believe in outcomes, potential outcomes. And yet they obey any hear me. Nemum ninsun sanso de beba ne mfasoa o man Ghana benyane ankrankro benyan eno ne hear me. Enti when I speak like this, I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about. So, enti media the message Ghana for no say den e beto aba 2024. Enti to fall into that sense say yenyi obi eni. Abane ento say beto. And today they can't even afford to start talking like that.
Okay.
So, I say rather, the way him here seeing the HM.
Obi abisa question be or Facebook na mean to be responding can catch and so open president the new council bisa. What's that general secretary no nya obesedi.
Akonya ma transfer da. Na ko transfer bi ayede.
Mpacho wansa no. What transfer da?
Akonya ma transfer da.
Enti nya dia sa akonya no so esubio. Uncle Adam me bi so asem we ya me aya na ye me den kakra but because you get very emotional about it. Tell me about your old boy. I mean, you are always very emotional about him.
Oh, because he was a good man. Me papa no e madam fo. Un say na e ma na di menim no. O me nua no mpenifo no ye ma. Me na me first obema.
Okay.
To e ko ban sound so no papa. O be na fo. Me na odi me ko stadium mi sa. And ma me play ball because I don't know Pekotoko.
Oh.
Me kai said in the 60s. It must have been 67 or 68. Kotoko ni be United. Then my first match. Still at this minute, so I can visualize it. So
at that age,
yeah, me share Kotoko red. Na me share. I can still see the Kumasi Stadium full of wire red. Almost those days. Me can't many me tibi. You know, enti no. Me son so say although na me a lawyer bad so na me street boy kaka. Nse near Tikrofo. Ntimo Kwabrantin no ne amankwa no mbe fa na jo na je say atie sikrom.
That's right.
Yeah, Koswa me ko Hekos. Ne ko Abis Park. Subin Valley. Ne abepie ye from say ahimfie. Ahimfie na mdi hu alaji grusa. Oh, mate say so nya accident.
Say friend akwana me so be
friend. Oh na mdi hu grusa na misa. Coles unti. Coles football. So na me papa or a disciplinarian. I'm saying in the background, I'm a catcher on no matter this ni free class, kakaka, the chess, or DBPA, Obina conference, maybe call Wesley College, so could child in your teacher's certificate A.
Oh,
and son, on your scholarship, Senior Law, King's College, University of London. So, we are so, and no open cruelty, also a bagana. We practice here, Kumasi. In those days, we were a young man, 1961, who from Bucharabana, who was Chevrolet. I wouldn't say,
a guy.
Pale back on a Chevrolet. Who could square another Chevrolet? And see, who's the union or say, my mobile for school bus. And here's an Akusi or soon atomic crew from.
That's right.
And I say, farms, I hadn't need a school bus called Royal International.
Oh,
when I'm quite opposite TI Amedia. Miss Sunday, I'm in a common transmit. I'm top of you. Oh, school and me conference room straight. O levels we boot distinction. That time Ghana had a nipper 116. Found some quantity the A50 make a home. Tina me do buko.
Oh, that's what I want.
An intra. So, enti me papa, the influence on ya or me son say. Unse usa untinye mebiase. Me ka say better ye na high court judge. Regional net baby dia national cathedral say sa bungalows no.
Enti samrani na na ho.
Oh me could try picture na nsa na ekubuagu.
Okay, ye be kan cathedral same today enko.
Oh picture no. Now we who so be sorry no nam garden no pick. You know he was very neat and yeah about. Unse usa na offer then now papa na nam we are now fufu be who so papa. You know usa were very funny. Until you know until na nkola nyina we have to find a way of training their minds. So but the discipline o ma yenyaye from nkola brem wanye obi a okrokro nipa sai nipa. So and now no aso ye modesta on prisika am peshi. So until and no has a lasting impression on me. Now, say journalist be by me. Ura house, it's from cousin be woman should be. I'm so me feel a cute house. Taste now who be a bear of fake but kitty. So them because we be any the opel we as. And that spirit of contentment, me feel here, Magana for because at the pressure a man Ghana for, especially in your no may. And near my own Timmy cry na. Eso faswa.
Oh.
So, nti kakra bia nya media amount mo ani ne sum is important. Nti that is the kind of person oye na enkomo bomb history ne ade you know all from 5 na World War 1944-45. No for 5 conference film ne nti to remember my history of the World War that time on my students.
Wow.
Nti free Musa it was tough because if you cry will be a woko na onye obi dị na kasa. But anyway, Nyankopɔn ama ya hoden me afem.
Tell us the history. Or more fun every fear now.
Oh yes, and the same I've told this story many times. It was a Wednesday night. No ma cost the one football ya. I'm saying na knockout has ne corners me refi da. Kotoko fozo na could dey against. And I has here one. And you remember ba it's dining those is not curfew. Just the immediate aftermath of the 31st December revolution. And me table bis menim say na me tro those is na phone ni biase. Ti me tro letter. Nipa na me tro de I've always kept a na me tro letter. Na ono so ti dining table o didi. Na onya message say obi hwe na abonte. Message ni buy and they told the story say Cecilia Krantiado, who was also a colleague judge on Tiapo, na on no in the Chambers Bank or Supreme Court, no didn't call Rage Hospital until Omuhiano. Until no Shempa Boakra, until Kosro Kofa Chow Chow, or she white shorts, white under shirt, also shirts as a singlet, that's a full and ODPA.
Oh,
ODPA. Yeah, cried at that time near Nimsi BBS. Maybe I'm later could die and Tim Sibi our baby did the area. And no panel. Not just a spookus out there, no, so a next door neighbor, wasn't it twice? None Nigerian tea won. A bar, so the boy, I'm a near said, Ra, Kufu be fan, Niku. The air course requires them, Papa da Unio.
Papa Sunio.
Coherent dining table at the assets was. Ni America call just some judges a lot of them were around. Justice do say to 2 doors away. One way appeal court judge. Timmy America call her. He drew her son of Fred Justice Apelu, who was then the Chief Justice. And that was when it was confirmed say Nrana Jununya report say Soja Phobia Befa judges Miensa. That's when it's in the morning. On the 1st of July that we got wind. Now the next few days in there it was horrible because they created the impression say Nipana Najunana committees are crime. Till Sunday. Sana.
No reason was assigned till today.
The only
nothing.
thing that we can connect is that all the 3 judges were sitting on AFRC review cases. So, we say, AFRC, by number, year never be brave. Boy, I jail will be 90 years. I don't know, and found court, I do share baby, I see who screen a cheat until the man time, no, case. So, we'll be a honor few say AFRC verdicts need be koya or betting me a court for the case to be reviewed. These were the 3 judges who were reviewing the cases. So, I think, say, be a Rollins Motihona review no cost not on So when he came back in 1981, we heard all sorts of rumors that there was a list of about 100 and something people who were going to kill and that kind of stuff. But anyway, say, Omaya Hoding, na etimia di we nyina
as a press secretary then, me sure sign you kran Ushia Rollins back one can be asked, do you pay any chance? The question be.
I could even go back. I mean, when I was host of Sports Highlights, and sometimes when you are running commentary and is a cup match. Now, it was very uncomfortable for me, but I carried it on like that. I quite remember say, boxing commentary. Nana Yaukunedu, then world bantamweight champion. Only Cesar Polanco, Accra Stadium. In the Rollins, he was a very
interested in boxing.
I was a boxing fan. Until Wama at the beginning, he didn't know until Bura Stadium in the 3rd round. And he was a close friend of Nana Yakunedu. No, or fan said, becoming Kunedu, no catch him. No Bura, or by necessity. We knew that fighting a running commentary. Tienimbo and or no fast and I'm to do many too, baby. So we never really got till when I became General Secretary. NPP. I may come solidarity message with Kumasi. That was the very difficult day for me. Because me, I may damn any amateur.
Not net away.
Just Misata Vice President, and so no fancy mold boy to minimum. Michian, share President Mahama, no twasso. I'm saying, come receive with the mancha papa. Well, I was feeling uncomfortable. It's only normal. But Michian and me and Sakaka. No fear in him. And I'm a chair. I like you do some amounts and him because no matter couldn't feel. And my now. The owner can say, come on, you are now matured as a politician. Or cancer. But the time I encounter was during the time I was on suspension. I had just returned from UK. Na Jake a year nasi. We were doing it at State House. Until only President Kufuor, any President Mahama, we nati high table. Na many Paula Foko, ne Kojumpi, ne ti one side. Me dim kuma me peja meti na Papa Edru menim. He walked straight from the high table ne to buy me chiam. Can some kakra chere me but ende me no me no. Did he ever apologize to you? Oh, no, I'm saying some woman in the kind of. If it is yes. Me my headline. Say be me nyaba na na kunedu adwuma Rollins so me chia no na ja. I mean, but I think it's
what their channel.
Oh, of course. I mean, you have to these things. We have some bitterness. Who the show ma? Who be suffer? You have to let go of these things. You have to let go. I don't have any Michiana baby and a fine a bonko more. Because the last time Nina by we Harunata sister Irene. No say Nanaya Kunedu.
Ajuma Kunedu
near Ketwa. To by Michiano cemetery in Ako. Or chairman, I'm saying what to say. Your bonko mokaka. Only as an etonenam. Okay. All these things in life, no, as we move on, we have to heal as one. So, and then maybe and so we learn lessons from history. And no, it should push us on as a country.
I come in me. First one, your candid opinion about the National Cathedral.
Well, I thought, it was a project for we Christians in the country. I didn't think it will have to fall on the national budget. And I, as a Christian, I would love to see a national cathedral. But I would wish to say, sorry. If all Christians say, me feel like as a president, catch the and I say, look, my dream been pese me bibi. Ntimunyina mumwami. Ni contribute. Location because of my sentimental attachment. I think I even sent him a text message.
You sent the president a text message?
Yes, I sent one to Gabi. Senka. Yanko, a Holy Trinity, baby, I say, I saw for Legon. Who say, baby, I almost seminary school.
That's right.
Opposite, don't say, and da hoka. Tiano cry the honor. Seminary across the honor. But I didn't get a response.
From both?
Yeah. I remember I did it. My old phone, I've been trying to retrieve that text message. But I remember I sent one to the president and one to Gabi. So, National Cathedral, I'm saying as Christians. I said, this is a my same moon passes here, which ba. Na yebe national budget dey akwede and dem feel say mini omonya adwe.
Yeah, spending 398 million Ghana cedis still a yindru baby.
There are a lot of rich Ghanaians who are Christians who like to make a contribution. Me, I'm a personal asori, I'm a Mount Sinai Methodist Church. Me making contributions. Who say nyame time I'll be making contributions. Who house when Nyankopon shira obi abros kebi. And me feel say as Christians, we have to all get together, take the burden of government, and contribute and build it.
Now, by you ready say NG burden in feeding them. They are still defending.
Well, I don't think this should become such a major political issue. I was thinking it's always a private thing. It's good to have that premonition. Say, oh, see, I saw already saying I'm here. To catch the Christopher.
One is
100,000, but one would be $1 million, 1 be 550. ni nsini hu say yen a Christopher Ghana yes we national cathedral and no there I think and no in itself there I support it, but I think say especially at a time and niema din ma oman no say e be kwa use national budget dey ayede and dem gidi say antwe
generally about the economy and IMF.
Oh, I've never felt that these Western world are for the good of Africa.
Okay.
They rip us off all the time. So many be colonizing. So it's tragic and sad. So we are ending up going back to them for support. We share private land parcels. What usu cantonments la born in nomine ya ton amancro with political interest for cheap, who then sold it to foreign interests, who say a lot of high rises around. Right. We should that a near consolidated. It will be far in excess of the $3 billion. Oh, until I made the issue about the disposal of state assets, impaired. Not started during the Rawlings regime. Some happened during my boss's regime. And I never liked it. So I'm with because we feel say, at the Ghana for the end, we hold it in trust for all of us. It is improper say people with political connections can then go and procure it on the cheap and then on sale for a big profit. Because I know of people who paid $150,000 for the plot and sold it for $3 million overnight. So these things, it's not fair. That money should go to Ghana, to the people of Ghana. And immediately feels that if we look inside, manage our affairs well, reduce the waste, downsize the government, send a strong signal to the Ghanaian people, and they make sure that Emra Juma, the rule of law, imposing order and discipline, will save enough money, generate enough jobs that we don't need to fall on the IMF. I mean, right now I'm hearing that lithium,
sure,
is in abundance in this country.
Very.
When we say no normally cars in the batteries near the.
They are quite chill.
I mean, these are the things that we should secure because we're a future a year. And who be bound for so we are say. So, and we need more people in the corridors of power speaking for the interests of Ghana, not individual interests, any personal preferences. So, into media, me feel say Oman Ghana, no, we've been practicing deficit financing of our budget for far too long. And right now, so, I see a Ghana for any near cash on say, minion. This is what our budget can do for us this year. Now, projects are yet to me here, no, and who here say a this fascination with overhead bridges are Ghana. I mean, there are some that are not being utilized from an engineering transportation viewpoint. I don't think a case can be made to justify the amount of expenditure we are making in some of these areas. I would like to talk to some of my colleague engineers and find out. But on the face of it, there are certain areas where I look at the traffic situation and whatever models you can put in place. And does not justify such massive expenditure at a location. I mean, there are a lot of projects across Ghana is poorly conceived. Poorly conceived. I mean, Saglemi, whose idea was it to go and put 5,000 units in that part of the country? Or was it part of a plan to build a model city? What is it? And who are the technical people, the engineers, the architects at the Ministry of Works and Housing who advised the minister to take that decision? Or the president at the time? It gets to a point we have to call on our professionals to also be up and do an account for some of their decisions. Mehu Mpakadai railway ni say. I mean, look at the huge embankment that has been built. That has changed the drainage regime of the area. Since you have flooding and all that. Just because you are putting one line, and I don't know whether, I haven't really taken a critical look, whether it can accommodate inbound and outbound. And if that is not the case, what is the frequency of train movement between Tema and Akosombo? You separated the grades. Engineer has a grade separation.
Okay.
Because circle has a railway line. A hakra traffic waha. Na a frequent cry. It was at grade. In the Abana, I better to say, not traffic, not train. So if it is not a very frequent train, every 10 minutes, I bet this stable traffic there. And I don't foresee, say, the train between Atema and Akosombo or Accra and Akosombo will be so frequent. Say, why do we spend that much money to build what we have built? How, if you do a cost and benefit analysis to the investment that we've put in there, vis-a-vis our economy. But because in this country, every project becomes a procurement opportunity for some. Ubi na finder's fee. Ubi na on the project and put it together. And so the real impact on the economy is not felt because some people will benefit from it. I worry about those things. When there's a national project, we have to fall on the Ghana Institution of Engineering, the Ghana Institute of Architects, the Institute of Planners and Surveyors, and challenge them to come out with some solutions, Ghanaian solutions. But Ghana, I've seen some of the hospitals being built in 2023. Who shares design? What can I say? In 1940.
Hey.
You need futuristic hospitals. Futuristic. Abrocheko Hospital. Udru Hokrana Huato. Colors cry need the design, the amount of light they will allow into the building. It makes it more energy efficient, it's soft on the eye, and is therapeutic for you, the sick person. And the NPP is high as a country.
Finally, in less than 1 month, a dime yensa ebubu au kruha brosai yesi edru baby bram. Kaswan chemu hoye en kwade senra o sendene na sakra no enra ya sore kra dan ya yesi a third floor, a fourth floor ni na bram. Yeah, Kwatamale, the whole UDS University, 6-story building, bram. Adenta 3-story, bram. Medina 3-story, bram.
My same way there. You bring it straight into my because my area of competence. Till very recently, I was the executive director of Ghana Institution of Engineering.
Oh,
between 2018, after my mandate now expired, and then took up the job as the executive director of Ghana Institution of Engineering. Again, what are the procedures for the certification of engineers who would then become the structural engineers for these major projects? Because any multi-story project has some protocols that you have to follow. The geotechnical investigation, which means to determine the depth of your foundation, how strong the ground is to support the superstructure. Well, those things done, which city authority passed it off for construction? Whose stamp is on it? Because we engineers, so if you are certified by the Ghana Institution of Engineering, we give you a stamp. And that stamp can be evoked by the Engineering Council. So, I mean, it's all about making sure, say, 90% of our problems will be solved. It is only in Ghana, no, building is a specialist thing. Either say you have a sanctioned, properly trained, properly registered contractor who is building for you, supervised by certified architects and engineers. So it is all about regulation. On minor rules and regulations, whether it's been given, the area has been given planning permission, a horn cry designated saying for Enya Soriana. Niakusi. Tokrom bebia crash space in your Kraniakusi, sorry. Then it generates a whole traffic situation. Because you have to do all those analysis before you put there a project. First and foremost, I think we should go to the professionals who sanctioned that drawing, because there should be a structural engineer who designed it, who passed it off. And the designer may be different from the supervisor and then the contractor. And there are stages of construction that you have to pass off before you move to another stage. So let me show you. And it's all down to improper supervision. And baby, you can be a bit much charged for manslaughter. You can be charged for manslaughter because you have been reckless in the discharge of your responsibility as a professional. So these are all things that, as government, as regulators of the public space, and unfortunately, it is these assemblies who are the implementers, frontline attenders, first responders. Almost so they don't have the technical capacity. Meanwhile, I say, instead of populating those places with engineers, architects, surveyors, professionals of the built environment, if it is investigated properly, all these building collapses, you can point to the source. Either say a construction defect, and that because there was no supervision, it be a design, they didn't follow the design, the amount of iron rods, and even now, the quality of the iron rods, and also cry another matter.
Hey.
Yes, iron rod was some strength. So, after a certain batch, you are supposed to have a testing certificate.
Hey.
You are supposed to take samples. It's there. The laws are there. So I was at the Institute of Engineering.
What for samples?
There should be one hand out of free. SO certificate from the factory. We have all sorts of strength tests that are conducted that should certify, say, and the be all crash size no any correct. You be catch say ring size no 12, so be kwa actually na 10. Meanwhile, what design say here 12 because then the amount of the shear strength near the betima support building. And there are a lot of these things. Into building supervision, building auditors, job opportunities for young engineers, young technicians, those who have gone to Polenum Niade. All these people can be engaged on sites. And compliance alone is a big opportunity to create jobs for the young population. Enti emrano de say itimima emraye adwuma say de mema de ahye me ho so say wachina bi nyankopon ye madom na eto aba ma me number president ade e friend compliance it should be number 1 because emraye adwuma organ ha enema pi ye ho betoyin eno so na de adwuma beba so onye se bia me say obi adwuma ene mu say ya na mo TV foi mo ton no bebre. And Ray, are we sure of the efficacy of those drugs?
Food and Drugs Board would approve.
Have they done that?
They do that before you are allowed to advertise.
Until these things, a hat a dream. Until I hope that they are doing it very well because then will be 29 crash when you heart attack. 40, no, because they said they can Emranti. You turn a drone now, see him, and I say, and running in a so, until. Yeah, I worry because if you are not sure of what you are taking in, that's what impacts negatively on your health. And it brings untold hardship on the national health budget. So, Captain, Omaino, we have issues. Political issues which I believe we politicians should easily solve because they are dedicated to the country and they say, they say they made 2 million, say, it shouldn't be difficult. There are even more social problems. Now saying police near there ekusi kumasi. Even the way young people are handling relationships, that emotional intelligence, the strength to deal with relationships. So papa or inspector, me you say oye wudini. Just a beer when me handle the anger issues. Into the role of Department of Social Welfare, I don't hear them in anything. Counseling, therapists. People can be trained as counselors. People can be trained as therapists. So, especially more military services, security services, cooperations, SWAT, it has an impact on your life. So them sure. All these people, they have to be counseled so that okofia impacting the social life. And these are areas that we are ignoring. Nancy Obeti will be the second we should challenge. Yeah, man.
Baby.
Adeng. Who's will be a friend in your crowd of phones and any buff.
Trouble about.
And we idea say can't the way we are maltreating our women in our country is something that we have to talk about. Yes, we encounter the elephant in the room is even sexual harassment at workplaces. No, very sexist comments. And these are big social issues, and even the matter of family planning and also build. Yesuanan committee GSMF and champion condoms.
That's right.
They demand for free. Sebi omo ni bien. Omo kra na san more. Then it becomes a burden on society. These are all things that I'm passionate about. Given the opportunity, we will make sure that we can lead this country and look at things completely differently.
We sports president, they mean to be my own kwa. Then you be a Black Stars between any African Cup of you.
Yeah, local league, you know. Maybe I want to go to what I call bread and butter issues.
Okay.
Yeah, league, you know. A loosely organic link with the society.
League no loose organic link with society.
Now teams now a Premier Division. Emuahe and a based on a community. First, Ghana, Uko region be a 2 clubs. Into the second now. Azaka is jinaha, na Wise jinaha. Uko Cape Kusa, Dwarfs jinaha, na Vipers jinaha. Uba Kumasi, Cornerstones jinaha, na Kotoko jinaha. BA United, Bofa Kotano. Who Mighty Eagles, who Sunset. So, Uko Kufrudia, Ubonsa Buako Susubibi, Mighty Rovers. So, let me say, Uko Swedu Kra, Fankuba, All Blacks. A community, no nature said they had a link into Obia Kohebola. Bewa Stars and as Savannah United and San Omo Kambu Mabaye Real Tamale United. So on the Michi. Say football no commercialization na me canin sa individualism no. Ama instead say we go support to team say bia me ekotoko ni. Ubo hu na fe ono aso okotene team o scanty. And a lot of the teams ubo dimbi Accra Lions omo hefa. One ne support them. Do okobo bola. Why they be kwakohe? Karela, Wafa. There's a lot of teams are individuals. So, we have to go back to basics. It has to be a deliberate policy. Na yensre, na yeman ye campaign be senka Sunday ye nyina pon asoria. Now no ma, na mako stadium no mako ball. The ambience of the stadium and the ball na hwe no eyede. And the Kotoko has a Bokra Stadium Unyama.
Debbie, hey.
How? Now Bankran has the Olympics, Okwa United. All these are teams. Yo, Kwafu, Sika, Betimia Boa. And the people should recognize. Metisa no more cash as will be invested 11 wise. But they should understand. Say football, a traditional and communal game. To me, some Tias Diana Binum say name Kotoshes. Who Kotoshes say? Say me Kotoko, a Santri Henning team. Ti Oshawa ni Munyam, no say one Kotoko chairman. And no, yet we can't even put a value on it.
That's it.
Intimate mechanics, let me say my investors in a Mesampi say, Debbie, the very easy I point to as chairman of Asante Kotoko. And we are enough. As I will contribute to now page team no ACE.
So, GF baby
because it's a GF already no. It started some time ago. Time almost tries on me pam buying a free football, and I protested at the time. And since that time, I've detached my time because me too nipa before. Even called the minister involved at the time. That time I'm a press secretary. Say adia moye, enko ye because football there, abino holds the interest of the population. And they said, Obiba, no more cast on here sika from why Abine. And so, better say, and Abine about football. Are they? Then we had a model that used to work. FIFA mechanic that I had a problem that time during the NDC time. omo nominate nipa 2 minister no de ba na de congress na ato. That is how Wanyame Chenum ne Nana Butler Jawula no nyina GFA chairman. Nobody complained. FIFA didn't say there's because we are a sovereign country. FIFA now you can't say FIFA is some super EB. FIFA is just a collection of football associations around the world. They cannot be more powerful than sovereign countries. And they cannot determine for us how we should run our football. So, and to say, yes, say, and ye na say, ya Congress, who say, look, the way a choir in Namsuno, MY Dachi. So I say, well, my kanda. Yeah, they say, we be the football people. And they don't report to anybody. You call World Cup me, I've been a member of the Black Satellites Committee. You call Barcelona 1992. I bought my own ticket. We didn't take a cent as allowance. I paid my own hotel. Because me, I was interested in serving the country. And then, yes, I'm called World Cup, I know much 100,000. I'm a committee members. Meanwhile, we the clubs now on air safa. How? See, now. You here for clubs and the players ni no more individual members of the Black Stars Management Committee did they play the football? And I think it's so wrong with our football. And I've just detached myself because I didn't cost no mempe. I did a mempe no. Debbie,
I mean closing my iPad. My name was Fayeshia 1 here 10 hours and so yeah. I wish you well. Baby Ufibana, he deserves your vote as a delegate. Ubes all supported a court, na you and him, Menko Yenya Chumbia or Nakonako supported. Won't mean supported and shed Yenya Chumbia. Hey, you be Jan where you and him, the why you're not ya kono. Won't mean ya.
Support they say when you cry naja o de kakra boy say e kora no ye nti say o mo ebinum tie vice president say o kwa say ne kan ne petrol nyina and convoy dey ade ya mo so chance afa na say ko mobilize this out of you o go do hotels a watua o no nkrofo nti emu ode nti obi pese obo a ebedase na o ma boy nanka ya na mo mumu number bi
bo
minim se e wo ha de a
Fabra Jibra of our koso kasa mama nti obi pese obo wa
o send bibi kakra e friend kito bi enso
na mfama na wa hweso abobo mama
o se ka obo mama
okay nti
una e host
number ni 02000 81828 02000 81828. Edi enda so KAA K as in KAA bium nti Kwabena Agyepong KAA for president. Atwatwatum sesi anaja.
That's it.
Me send me the aba.
Me dos.
Me send me the aba. Offensive that's it. Ya dani ya hwa ba ya titi ebebo modi ana fe. Wetimi ato aso amai. Ya ba sia.
Amara fi say we dey wa fidie no ebeto Onua TV. Na wa hwe Onua Showtime. Onua Showtime. Ye dey bro fiada ene kwasiada nwumre bia. Onua Showtime. Ye dwene wani